viewers, and welcome back to Talk the Talk. I'm Desh Pillay-Bechin, and thank you so much for joining us for another episode. So today we are sitting with Nickey Zeeman, and she's the accountant at Morgan Nissan Group Northcliff. Now, Morgan Nissan Group, I've met you, Morgan, who is the owner of the group. He sat with me here in studio. What a wonderful man. Definitely a champion and a catalyst for change and for women being empowered in the motoring trade. Today, Nickey is joining us because she was actually nominated by Mr. Hugh Morgan himself for the Motoring Woman of the Year Awards 2023. Nickey believes that one should have strong values and a determined mindset in order to achieve development. So she is said to be proactive in her business approach and doesn't wait for opportunity to present itself. Rather, she's determined and navigates her own way to finding success. So, without further ado, let's welcome Nickey. And as always, this interview is proudly brought to you by Sariti Solutions and Evo by Nedbank. Hello, Nickey.
Hi, how are you?
Good. You are not a very soft-spoken person, so don't pretend, okay?
I'm trying not to. Like I said, I've got a loud voice, so.
No need to be nervous. We're just having a conversation. We just want to learn more about you and maybe get people to vote for you for next year, right?
Yeah.
So
the few friends I've got on Facebook, yes.
You know, as I said earlier on, you're already a winner. So
yeah.
It's nothing, it has nothing to do with competing with anybody. You're already a winner. I think every woman working in the motoring trade are winners. So
I believe so too, yes.
Absolutely. So Nickey, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you so much for accepting your nomination and joining our network of empowering each other. Thank you, appreciate it.
No, thank you.
Okay, so Nickey, tell us more about yourself and your journey in the motoring trade.
Okay, so I started working in the motor trades when I came back from overseas. I started at reception, and from there on I went into the accounting portion, and from there on I ended up as an accountant. So I'm not a CA, but I am an EA, experienced accountant. Okay. So it has been a good journey for me. The people that I have came across in my journey in the motor trade has always been, I have been fortunate enough to have been in those people's company. I really have. And I can't say that anything else but to say that the motor trade has been good to me.
So currently you are working under the leadership of Colin Thorpe.
Yeah.
Isn't he just an amazing man, right? So I didn't even know that you were coming from his dealership.
Yeah.
Hi Colin. He's one of the amazing men that actually supported me way back before I started my own journey in the motoring trade. When I was working for my ex-company, he would give me vehicles from his dealership to test drive. So thank you, Colin. Thank you. And it's true, the people that you encounter through your journey that does empower you, you can never forget those names.
No, you can't. You can absolutely not. I mean, for me, starting in the motor industry, I know this is all about women empowerment, but it has been a few men that came across my path that has actually put me today where I am.
Same.
So I can't take that away from them. I came across a very good woman financial manager that I adored. She was, if I may use her name.
Absolutely, please do.
Sari De Lange. I think she still works in the Baller World Group because that's where I came from previously. So working with her just made me realize that, you know, you can do it. Yes. You don't have to sit back and always have people or men be in charge. Yes. You can too.
No, absolutely.
And it's always important to do it with dignity.
Yes. Listen, I must say that I'm glad that you brought that up because it's very common that women would say, oh no, but women do not stand for each other, they do not stand together, always breaking each other down. And that's not true, because many of the ladies that have joined our network, they do attest to women bringing them up. And yes, again, men, there's many men in the motoring trade that are the catalyst for change, that are championing for us to move up the ranks, and it's such a great story. So I hope that we'll move in this upward trajectory in terms of empowering each other, and men empowering women. We need that.
Absolutely.
It is 82,000 women in the motoring trade, but there's 304,000 men in the motoring trade. Okay,
that's insane. Okay,
so it's important for us to to take leadership from our male counterpart. So tell us, what is your opinion about our movements in terms of the Motoring Woman of the Year Awards, who actually recognizes women like yourself, women across the spectrum actually, whether you're a wash bay attendant or a receptionist. How do you feel about these initiatives?
Well, for me it's great in the sense because like I explained to you previously, unfortunately I was not aware of your movement until one of your ladies contacted me, and I think it was quite an interesting conversation for her, but anyway, so afterwards I went and read about it, and I just thought what a awesome way to make people who, and especially women, feel that they do mean something within this trade, because this trade, as we all know, is male dominated. A lot of the higher positions at your manufacturers, right down to wherever, it's usually governed by men. And here and there will be a head popping out that's a woman, but they sometimes unfortunately get, how can I say it, crushed down again, if you understand.
Sidelined,
yes, they get sidelined. So it is very awesome to actually see a organization and a movement like this that can actually show to the entire motor industry that it's not just a few, there's a lot of women within the motor trade that is actually powering forward.
Absolutely. And why do you think women do well in this trade?
Well, I can tell you this, okay, coming from a man again, unfortunately, but not unfortunately. My dad always said to me, if you do something right the first time, okay, there is far less issues going forward.
I see where this is going. Okay.
So taking that from him, okay, I believe that if you just do things right, you will always move forward, no matter who you are. And that's why I think a lot of women in the motor trade do well, because we are a lot more
attention to detail.
But we are also not afraid to speak up if we see something is wrong. If you find that maybe something is moving in the wrong direction, you speak up, you go to your dealer principal, and with this, you are the voice of reason. And I think that's why women can do well, because we think before we talk sometimes. In my case, not all the time, but okay. And Colin will attest to that, okay, and Mr. Morgan, but it's just we are the more soft-spoken people, and it is a lot easier to listen to us, because men can sometimes be a bit abrupt. Okay. If I can put it that way.
Okay, so if you could do it all over again, especially you started off as a receptionist, you've moved up the ranks, you're an accountant now. Would you have studied something differently, or done something differently academically or in your career, to propel you forward?
I would definitely have gone and studied, okay. Most probably something within the accounting field. Unfortunately, the motor trade wasn't something that I planned to go to.
None of us did.
I wanted to be a game ranger. So, I mean, those are worlds apart from each other, okay? But I am a social person. So, being in the motor trade basically forces you to be social, okay? So, definitely I would have rather gone and done some sort of accounting degree, because it does take you further, okay, in the sense that you don't have to just stick at accountant, you can actually move up the ranks.
Absolutely, and the reason I asked you that question is because there's many young girls that might watch this and use you as an inspiration and aspire to being an accountant in the motoring trade. So it's important for them to know that if you what subjects to choose, or which direction to go to or go in terms of education. Absolutely. And what would you say is your greatest strength?
So I would say my greatest strength is I'm a loyal person, okay, and I'm dedicated. I don't, in my career I've been at 2 working places. The one was at Bola World and the other one was now at Morgan Group.
Right.
And in both of them, okay, my loyalty and my dedication must have come through to my employers.
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's why you're sitting here.
Okay. True that. But and I'm not someone that actually gives up. Okay. I will fight to the bone if I believe something is right. And that's with my work and my communities where I live or whatever. If I believe in something, I will make sure it goes well.
Okay, and
I try.
What is your ideal working environment? I know the dealership can be a very busy
Tough
environment.
place.
But what's your ideal working environment?
Ideal, everybody works together.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody does their part, because just like in the engine of a vehicle, everything has to work together to get you moving. The same thing you have to do within a dealership.
Love that analogy.
Yeah.
How do you have fun?
Okay, you're gonna find this weird, but
trust me, I've interviewed over 500 people. Nothing phases me anymore.
So myself, my husband, his brother, and his cousin, we play online Xbox games.
Oh, that's cool! Yay!
So the 4 of us would sometimes come together, maybe twice a month, once a month, and then we'd have our little, what is those earphones that he's got on? Okay, those type of things, and we would talk to each other, and we would just go and play all these how can I say it? Division. Now, Division is a type of game where you shoot and hide and collect things, and then you would play like cooking games, that kind of thing. It's just a way of relaxing and getting away from your stressful environment.
Right.
Okay?
Now, that's amazing. That is very unique. I've never heard that before. So you see, women can do anything they want to do. And just to clarify something, the person that's sitting in studio, my cameraman, is not playing Xbox games. He has his earphones there to listen to our audio.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
And any words of advice for a young woman that wants to enter into the trade?
Okay, so if you want to enter into the trade, I would say choose your direction where you want to go. Okay, I think it's important. For me, because I'm a very methodical person. I like things done correctly. Obviously, from the time I started in the trade, people saw that. So that's why I went in the direction of accounting. But choose what you want to do. If you want to be with customers, go into the service direction, or if you want to be a little bit more backwards and not in the customer but want to make sure your dealership runs, go into accounting
behind
the scenes, because behind the scenes is just as important as in front of the scene.
Absolutely.
Because if you at the end of the rope don't do what you are supposed to do, your other team can't do it. So I would say there's a vast variety. Remember, I'm referencing to a dealership now because that's my environment. But I'm sure in the motor trade, in motoring, there is look where you are.
I'm sitting here at my house, my studio home.
No, but what I'm saying is there's a vast place that you can go to.
There's a lot of opportunity.
Yeah, there is.
You can do anything you want to do, engineer, accountant, sales, whatever in our trade. And it's a great place to be.
It doesn't have to scare you.
Absolutely.
Okay? Because like you say, unfortunately the motor industry is still very much governed by our male
counterpart.
Yes, I wanted to use that. But that being said, if you go in there, you will see it's not a scary place as it would seem.
It's actually very fun.
Yes.
We were, like you said earlier on, we just ended up here, but we're still here after years and years and years.
Exactly.
Yes.
And it is wonderful to see, because it shows that where there is a will, there is a way.
Now tell me, how do you feel about your brand, Nissan?
I like it about the Nissan brand is that they've got so many different vehicles. Okay, so you've got your different how can I say it, levels of vehicles. So I think they cater for most people who would like to buy a car. If that's the way I see it, and that's what I like about it. So whether it's an entry-level vehicle or whether it's your very high-spec vehicle, absolutely there's a range for everybody. And that's what I like about it, because you can go from either here or there.
Window bashing or to the office at the
Yeah, so you can you can start really small and you can really go big.
Absolutely. Now, I just want to say thank you so much
Okay.
for accepting your nomination and for being a part of this movement and identifying or recognizing that this movement is not about winning, as I said earlier on, but about using this place or this platform and encouraging other women and paying it forward and just, uplifting, educating, and just being a source of inspiration. So thank you so much.
No, thank you. And I really have to say, in my I've been in the motor trade now, I think it's been about 23 years. Okay, so it is really actually very encouraging to actually sit here. I was very scared coming here. Okay. Because I had no idea what to expect, honestly. Okay, I've never sat in front of a camera, but you've made it very comfortable.
Ah, thank you. Please, we need to cut that part out and send it to all the ladies we invite to studio so that they know that they can actually, come here and just be themselves.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be intimidating. There is a bigger purpose behind what we are doing, and that's to share your voice, to encourage and empower other women, as I said. Thank you so much.
No, thank you very much.
Viewers, thank you so much for watching, commenting, and sharing our interviews and content. Our non-profit company is the Motoring Woman of the Year Awards, powered by MFC and Evo Finance Bank, and the Talk Studios, powered by Sariti Solutions, are aimed at recognizing and celebrating the women of motoring South Africa. Women just like Nickey over here. We are not just telling stories, we are changing lives. And together we aim to empower and to uplift the women of our trade. For those of you that are searching for your new ride, please visit www.otto.evo.africa. We have thousands of vehicles on sale for you to choose from, and we only advertise on behalf of reliable and trustworthy MFC accredited dealerships. This car listing portal is incredibly user-friendly, and you can also find vehicle reviews and car maintenance tips and advice, all courtesy of Talk the Talk Studios. Ladies, I just want to end this beautiful session by saying that there's one misconception that people have about persevering, and it's persevering is actually staying true to the cause no matter what. This is true only if the reason for pursuing your goal is still valid. Most successful people achieve success doing something different from what they initially intended to do. I know I'm an example of that. I did not intend to be a talk show host, but be confident and act based on your vision of success. Don't ever let somebody tell you that you can't do something. Remember, ladies, with confidence, you have won before you have even started. And that is why I would like to remind you that the question should never be, who's going to let me? It should always be, who's going to stop me?